Hi, I'm Kate from BikeFinder, and today we have Alan with us. He's managing director at Cycler. This is our UK insurance partner. For those who don't know, we offer BikeFinder tracker with insurance for full peace of mind. So, Alan, how long have you been working in the insurance sector?
I'm not sure I'm allowed to disclose that information, but it's around 25 years, so a quarter of a century, in various different guises and with different businesses.
That's quite a while, I would say. So, it is definitely on the specialist side. Let's start with our first question, which is as of a general understanding. What is the biggest risk with bikes? Is it theft, damage, from your experience?
Yeah, well, certainly over the last few years, the biggest risk is theft. It's become a real problem in the UK. You're seeing a rise in bike theft from homes and from locked stations and garages. And we're also unfortunately seeing a rise in aggravated theft because of the value of some of the cycles. This is individuals that are actually riding their cycle and then being mugged essentially and having the cycle taken off them.
So you said while they're riding their bikes, they're being robbed.
Yeah, it's a really unpleasant experience for anybody involved.
So why should a cyclist in general consider bike insurance?
But we're seeing a rise in individuals insuring their cycles because it matters to them. It is their mode of transport. It is the way that they enjoy leisure activities at the weekend. And it's just really important to them.
Indeed, that's right. And people have insurance for their cars. A bike, a mean of transport, should also be insured the same way.
Completely.
So, and what does bike insurance with BikeFinder cover?
Fortunately, BikeFinder and the team recover a large proportion of bicycles that are stolen, which is fantastic. What that allows us to do is to offer an insurance subscription that sits adjacent to the BikeFinder tracking subscription. And in the event, the small likelihood that the bike isn't recovered by the BikeFinder team, we're there to cover you for the theft of the cycle. We also cover you for malicious damage to the cycle as a result of attempted theft damage or just general malicious damage. We also cover you for worldwide travel. So with a BikeFinder insurance subscription, you will get 90 days cover a year.
That's
And
quite good, 90 days.
well, what we've looked at when we've studied the data is that trips actually often sit under about 45 days a year. But we increase that because we are aware that there are a lot of BikeFinder customers that take their cycles abroad. They either do it for leisure or to compete in events as well, and sportives and triathlons and things like that, which are really important. So you've got worldwide cover, and that also includes in transit. So as long as you've packaged your cycle correctly in the hold of an aircraft, you're covered for the cycle in transit as well. And accessories. A lot of individuals spend a lot of money on clothing, helmets, computerized devices for timing and trials and things like that. So what you can do is you can add the value of your accessories to the value of your cycle cover.
So, yeah, accessories is a big part actually that not every bike insurance covers because the accessories can be quite expensive.
They can be, and actually we have cases where accessories that have been purchased actually outweigh the value of the cycle,
Mhm.
remarkably.
So, yeah, so you're covered with the insurance when you travel. And with that, in the BikeFinder app, you have a bike passport that you can set up with a picture of your bike, and then you can travel hassle-free and just go through customs with a passport.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feature.
So how much does insurance usually cost for your bike if you don't have a bike finder, and how much do you save with a bike finder?
We can actually offer a really competitive price. So obviously every provider charges a different price and offers different levels of cover. Um, our data shows that a bike finder customer purchasing theft, malicious damage, accessory cover and worldwide travel cover with their BikeFinder subscription is on average paying 50% less when compared to other providers in the UK for the same level of cover. And we're able to offer that reduced premium because, as I've shared, most cycles are recovered, which is great because quite often individuals just want their cycle back. There's nothing worse as an individual than when you've worked and saved hard to buy a cycle of any value, to have that taken away from you by an opportunist. And we've got to try to crack down on crime. And BikeFinder is a great example and test case as to how that is done. And it's lovely that something's being done about bike theft in the UK.
Nicely said. Thank you. So yeah, about 50% cost reduction is actually a very good price point, which is an important factor. But not only the price is important in insurance, it's also about policies. So are all bike insurance policies the same? And from your experience, what would you tell what we should watch out for? What are the pitfalls?
Yeah, great question. So not all insurance policies are the same. All of them can be vastly different. 10 years ago, if you wanted to compare two different insurance products, you would have to read through a 40-page terms and conditions document for each provider. You don't need to do that anymore. There's a document that is uniformed and regulated across the UK, and it's called the Insurance Product Information Document. In short, IPID. Whenever you get an insurance quotation, you will be offered the opportunity to review the IPID. And the IPID simply breaks down your cover into some key component parts. It very clearly states, what are you covered for? What are you not covered for? What are your obligations? And how can you cancel that insurance policy?
So it's a two-page document that has all you need to know without all the fluff that's on the other 45 pages.
Exactly. For example, if you were to view the BikeFinder and Cycler IPID, what you would see very clear in the My Obligations section is that you must have your BikeFinder tracking device charged at a minimum of 20% to be covered on insurance. Why? That's because there's adequate charge for the cycle to be tracked in the event that it's stolen. It will also very clearly state that you must have a minimum of a gold standard sold secure lock.
Talking about lock, we have a lot of questions from our customers about locks.
Yes.
They always ask us what's actually an insurance approved lock.
Great
Can you share
question.
that?
Yeah, there's so much confusion. I think actually some of the confusion is brought about on the basis that when you go to purchase a lock, none of them say insurance approved.
Right.
So on the BikeFinder and Cycler insurance product, you have to have a minimum of a gold sold secure standard lock. And what you have is you have bronze, silver, gold, diamond. You've got different levels of requirement. I've got a lock here actually. Now this is a gold sold secure lock. Now you wouldn't know it. In the UK, it's more commonly known as a D lock. It can be known as a U lock. But when you purchase this lock, and it's not here now, but in the shop, it would have a label here that says gold sold secure. Now, it's really important to get the right lock because every insurance provider will require a minimum level of security to ensure that you are safeguarding your gear. It's your responsibility, like you lock your car when you leave it, you're required to lock your bike. So make sure you're looking out for the right standard of lock. If anybody's confused, there's one website that anybody can go onto to check if their lock is a standard that's required, and it's simply soldsecure.com. You can go on there and you can search for the make and model and serial number of the lock, and it will tell you what standard it is. And then just check your IPID, which we've referred to, or your welcome email from your insurer, because quite often they're very open about what's required, and check that you've got the right standard. It's really important. Now, not to harp on about locks for too long, but some of these locks go up in standard and they do cost more money. But there's some great inventions now where you are getting a covering of material around such locks that are actually turning the power of handheld angle grinders back on the handheld angle grinder, which is making some of these locks really impossible to break. So the locks are becoming more and more advanced. They are getting a bit more and more expensive. But to really safeguard your gear, my recommendation would be look at gold as a minimum and look at anything above that as additional security.
Yes, you were saying all the requirements that we have in our IPID document. So it's 20% charge, locking the bike with a good lock.
And making sure that it's not in passive mode, because we need to be able to track the cycle in the event that it's been stolen. So in the event that you've secured your bike as you're required to, and you've got the tracking device charged and not in passive mode, you're good to go. You're then covered. But you must safeguard your gear. That's the important thing. We often refer to it as a bundle of cash. We have customers, BikeFinder customers, that have a £13,000 bike on cover. You wouldn't leave £13,000 outside a shop while you nipped in to buy a pint of milk.
Indeed, that's right. What happens if only parts of the bike get stolen? Let's say just the frame, the wheel.
Yeah, so that's covered. So we would put that as malicious damage as a result of attempted theft. This often happens when a bike can't be stolen in its entirety because of the strength of a lock. So let's say that you've used your D-lock to secure your bike through the frame to an immovable object. And actually the thief decides he's going to take and steal the wheels, the seat, the handlebars instead. With the BikeFinder and Cycler insurance subscription, you're covered for those circumstances.
That's good to know. What about cargo bikes? Because we have more and more cargo bikes on the streets now. Is that insured the same way as a regular bike?
Yeah, so just to be clear, whether it's a cargo bike, a BMX, a road bike, an e-bike, um, you're covered under the BikeFinder subscription. The only restriction on e-bikes is that in the UK, um, you know, it's outside of what we call the Road Traffic Act. So you have to be under 15.5 miles per hour.
Yeah, that is right. So now, what if I've built my bike myself, or like if it's a like custom made bike? Is it also insured?
Yeah, so custom builds are absolutely covered. Okay. Key constituent to custom builds is that you keep all of the receipts from the core component parts that you've purchased to build the custom build cycle. And that's to evidence that you have a financial investment in that custom build, and you could evidence the value of each component part in the event, the unlikely event that you'll need to make a claim.
That sounds fair.
So, and it's a really useful exercise with the BikeFinder app. You can upload images of your gear, your accessories, your cycle, and all of your receipts. And in the event of a claim, everything's there. You don't have to rifle through old paperwork or paper receipts or old emails. It's all in one location, ready in case you need it.
Very nicely said. So how does bike insurance differ from home or travel insurances in which bike is covered?
Yeah, so you have to be really careful. There's a lot of assumptions around what home and travel insurance does cover and doesn't cover. So typically, if you look at the home insurance market in the UK, they do offer levels of cycle cover. They average out at about £500 worth of cycle cover whilst the cycle is at the home. The same goes for travel insurance. So on home insurance, another consideration is if you make a claim for your cycle on your home insurance, when it comes to your renewal, you'll likely have a loss of no claims discount because you've made a claim, and your premium will likely increase. Having a separate cycle insurance policy or the BikeFinder subscription cycle insurance, that won't affect your home insurance price at renewal. So that's really important. With travel insurance, you've got to make sure that you're covered for competing events, what countries you're covered for to travel to and from, and also making sure that you've got cover in transit whilst your cycle is being shipped to another country or in the hold of an aircraft, for example.
So what you're saying is that those home and travel insurances are perfectly fine for a basic bike, but if you have an e-bike or you really care about your bike, you should actually get a dedicated bike insurance.
Yes, I would say so. So check the details again, check the IPID, because you can do that also on your home insurance as well as your cycle insurance to see what you are and more importantly, are not covered for.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ellen, for being here today. I hope that everyone had now more insight into insurance and is well equipped now to make an informed decision on bike insurance. If you have any question or anything, just contact us. We have customer service support at bikefinder.com, or if it's very specific in insurance, you can also contact Cycler. Otherwise, drop us a comment below. And thank you very much. Bye.